Welcome back here, everyone. It's always fun to poke holes at how badly DC and the Disney and the MCU is doing because they did it to themselves. They've gone out of their way to just absolutely gut themselves, and now that they're bleeding all over the place, as you can see, bleeding money, quality, talent, everything is just gone. They're trying to act like, no, it's no big deal. We could fix it, but we know it's not going to happen. They recently announced that they're going to be, they roll back on releasing some Disney Plus titles like Ironheart and Echo, which I say to that good because nobody asked for that garbage in the first place. Weren't going to do it any justice whatsoever, so nobody wanted it to recently after Hollywood and roll back on that. But another film that they have been dancing around trying to push all this time, The Marvels. Keep in mind this movie was supposed to originally be called Captain Marvel 2. And then, after the first Captain Marvel movie, they realized that Brie Larson and her as Captain Marvel couldn't pull a movie on her own. So they decided, let's call it The Marvels and bring in Ms. Marvel and Monica Rambeau, two characters they have done nothing to elevate. Same thing with Captain Marvel. And, that's what they were trying to pull. But now we've learned that The Marvels has been delayed again. And the reason for the delay is pretty worse than we would have thought, but also just as laughably bad. Getting to this article, and also something else I wanted to touch on before I talk, but here it is. Reason for the Marvel's MCU delay worse than thought. There is no doubt that the MCU is having major problems, which just might be another Star Wars for Disney, because Disney has completely and utterly destroyed this Star Wars brand. They've destroyed it. I personally don't want to see anything involving Star Wars anymore from Disney. I have had enough. I think they have ruined it. The only way Disney could hope to salvage anything Star Wars worthy is to go back to the original of what Star Wars was, that everything that they have done after that original, just completely scrap it, say, this never existed, it doesn't matter, destroy it, and then move on, because they have done nothing at all. Their shows are not even going anywhere. So that's it. I think that's it for me, and they could very well be shaping up for that. There is more bad news surrounding the MCU, this time which pertains to the Marvels starring Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and Tuna Paris, with the film directed by Nia DaCosta. Recently saw Disney and Marvel announce a new release date for the Marvels as they pushed the flick back a second time, with a delay of 4 months from a summer release date to November 10th. Yeah, because it was supposed to originally come out last year, and they pushed it back, and now they've pushed it back again. The Wrap reported on the new release date and offered that the delay was to give the film more time for post-production, just something that fits with all the reports surrounding problems with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So it was figured that since the Marvel was given more time for post-production, that it was about the VFX, as the film is going to be another heavy CGI-intensive movie. So Disney and Marvel delayed the release to make the flick look all the better again, instead of what happened with Quantumania. However, the real problem might not just be the VFX with the Marvels, as two sources offer a different reason, which is even more worrisome. Let's hear what they have to say. According to YouTuber Grace Randolph, the reason the Marvels delay is that the movie tested poorly with audiences in screen tests. That does not surprise me at all. Certainly the VFX weren't done for the screen test said to be held months ago, so they can't be all to blame. The Marvels was pushed from summer to winter due to poor audience test scores, so Marvel was to do yet another round of reshoots to avoid, another round of this kind of mess, says Randolph. So they push it back because it tested poorly. Something kind of similar occurred with Ms. Marvel. If you remember that when they were supposed to bring out that series, they pushed it back because they wanted to do some reshoots and because it didn't test well as anything. And then Ms. Marvel came and it was a disaster of a show. It's terribly done. It had one of the worst ratings for any Disney Plus show ever. It wasn't good. I watched like about 2 or 3 episodes and I was done. I called it earlier. It was going to be nonsense. People didn't want to listen to me to say I was just being too harsh. And then even the very critics came out and admitted Miss Marvel wasn't a good show at all. So now you have the Marvels testing poorly and they've gone back to do reshoots. And when they go back to do the reshoots something, it doesn't really fill me with much hope because they have it stuck in their mind what they're going to do. They have a story of what they're going to do and they have no intention whatsoever of changing from that. Even if it's garbage, they put that out there. And when it comes out and it fails miserably, they're going to do what Disney is known for now. Play the race card, play the sexist card. That's it. That's just all they want to do. Because honestly, I mean, everyone loves Paul Rudd, Jonathan Majors, and Michelle Pfeiffer, but with Brie Larson and Imam Vellani, that could be a Star Wars level bloodbath of toxicity, and hopefully not only does Disney Marvel not want that for themselves, but they don't want to do that to their actors, she said. Randolph continued, so while Disney Marvel refuses to admit defeat publicly, totally understandable, never let them see you sweat. I think behind closed doors it's a downright sauna considering the huge scheduling changes that have been made so abruptly. I tell you before, I say again, Disney is determined to die on this hill. They may be sweating, but they don't want to stop the crap that they're doing. Randolph also recommended Disney to fire Marvel's Rick and Morty writers, including Quantumania writer Jeff Loveless of Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. The claims about the Marvels testing poorly with audiences are backed up by Giant Freaking Robot, who actually first reported on the poor test screening reactions 7 months ago. The site said that Marvel Studios is getting nervous after poor test screenings of the Marvels. And because keep in mind, they wanted to push Captain Marvel as the next Iron Man and act like, she's going to be the center point of the MCU moving forward, even though nobody wants that. People don't like Captain Marvel in the comics. People didn't like Brie Larson's portrayal of Captain Marvel in the MCU. But you're all trying to push something that you know is going to fail. What's particularly worrisome is that similar to how Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania introduces the MCU masses to the next big villain and bombed at the box office, recently Kevin Feige and Brie Larson went so far as to say Imam Vellani's Miss Marvel steals the show in the Marvels and it's the future of the MCU. Okay, interestingly enough, not Brie Larson, Feige said was going to lead the MCU. Yeah, that's what I remember what he said. The Marvel was supposed to be a big movie as the first Captain Marvel made $1 billion at the box office. That movie only made $1 billion at the box office because Nick Fury was in it, 1, and 2, they put it out there that, this movie ties into Endgame, so you have to watch this. That's really the only reason that it actually hit. It's really the only reason that it actually hit. Recall how Imam Vellani's Ms. Marvel show bombed on Disney Plus? Yeah, and now the Marvels isn't looking good, so what does that say for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? They also talk about how prior to Quantumania, Bob Iger announced that they were going to slow things down and all of this. It's not looking good at all for the Marvels, but they have nobody to blame for that other than themselves and the crap that they are doing. Now, this article here from Bounding into Commerce, I want to touch on something in it here quickly, right? To talk about how the Marvels is not doing well, it's been delayed and all of that. Okay, let me get to the part. Right. The report follows Marvel Studios President Kevin Feige hyping the film to Entertainment Weekly. He noted the film would primarily focus on the dynamic between Larson's Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan. Now, again, as I said, they've done nothing with Monica Rambeau. casual Marvel fans won't even know who Monica Rambeau is. And the way that they've changed her in the MCU, and the fact that she hasn't gotten any kind of screen time at all. I mean, she had some parts in Vision and Scarlet Witch. That was about it. Isn't going to do well. And then Kamala Khan her series did not go well at all. And then we can't talk about Carol Danvers because from the comics to the MCU, nobody likes Captain Marvel. That's just a given. So that's what the entire movie is about. There are fun cosmic elements to it. Marvel comic fans will recognize elements of the Kree-Skrull War, something you could have set up better, but we want to throw that in now. And it's picking up directly after the end of Captain Marvel 1, not in timeline, but in story. We also do that in our upcoming Disney Plus series, Secret Invasion, and those are two very different follow-ups to that movie. So that we'll have to watch it. Feige continued. Tonally, they couldn't be more different. Listen to this part there. But there's something immensely powerful about seeing Monica and Kamala and Carol together in a frame. To me, it's only akin to the first Avengers movie and seeing the 6 of them together in a frame. You really try to tell me that the Marvel seeing Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Monica Rambeau is the same thing to seeing the Avengers in the first Avengers movie. You realize you're talking about the Avengers here. Go to say it's chill-inducing. But I say a doctor for that. they're so great together, and they all have different histories with one another. That goes on. The great thing about Kamala in her show and now in this movie is that she's not unlike Tom Holland's Peter Parker in Civil War. She can't believe she's with these other heroes and can't believe that she finds herself in these places, and that's fun because we want to be that. I want to be that. He concluded. I mean, to have Kevin Feige come out and say that, the Marvels together is akin to seeing the Avengers gather is beyond crazy. You could try to hype this movie up all you want, but it has been delayed, and for reasons that they've already pointed out. But you're trying to claim that seeing them together is akin to seeing the Avengers. That's insanity, Kevin Feige. Come on. That doesn't even partially make sense. Bottom line of it is, Marvels has been delayed again because, well, you keep trying to push garbage and you figure people aren't going to realize it, and now Disney is sweating buckets, but they are determined to die on this woke hill, so let them. As far as I am concerned, I have no big hype for this movie. I don't even want to watch it in cinema when it comes out. I cannot, but I'm not surprised by this turn of events at all. I mean, what are your thoughts on this in the comments? If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. Like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, notify the video when I put out a new video, and I shall see you all next time. Take care.